Hello and welcome to Fitaurus Kitchen. I'm your host, Chef Fitaurus. It's time once again for Shoot 'em Up Saturday, and on the menu this Saturday we've got the recently released Lovers in a Dangerous Spacetime. So I've got to discuss this one a little bit in my recent PAX video, so you can go ahead and check those out if you're interested. But basically, it's a co-op shoot 'em up where you're going and teaming up with yourself and another individual or an AI pet to go and control this spaceship, go and rescue these space creatures, and go and restore love to the universe. So what kind of taste will this awesome co-op shoot 'em up go and have? Let's get cooking and find out.
Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time. Loading save data. Alright, here we are at the main menu of Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time. So since this is a PC title, we'll have just a quick look at the options. There's the ability to go and rebind your controls if you're not necessarily happy with the way that things are set up either on the controller or the keyboard itself. Settings, so things are a little bit bare bones here. We just have our volume sliders, there's full screen anti-aliasing available, VSync, and then you've got quite a range of different resolutions you can go and set the game to, so that's certainly nice. There's also quite a bit of language options as well. English, of course, you've got French, let's see, French, Italian, Germany, Portuguese, Russian, Japanese, Korean, Chinese, quite a bit of range there, so like really anybody can and should go and play this game. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump right in. So I've mainly been going and playing on slot 2, as is obvious, but I'm going to go and show you a little bit from the very beginning of the game, so I can just go and give you a little bit of an idea of how the single player goes and works. Since this is definitely a multiplayer game, well, primarily. So we have the choice of 3 characters that we can go and be from the get-go. We've got Lover Mew, Lover New, and Lover Upsilon. We're going to go with New, because I like the way this guy looks. And then if we're going and playing a single-player game, we have the choice of 2 AI CPU pets. We can go with the dog Doppler or the cat Kepler. I'm more of a cat person, so we're definitely going to go with Kepler. Now here we are at the beginning. I've skipped past the tutorial stage, so we're going and just being told that the fabric of the universe has become unstable. The fabric of space-time is shifting. Our only hope is to recover the 4 Ardor reactor pieces. I think one of them is Ursa Major. Can you investigate? So the basic story is that the people in the game went and built this awesome Ardor reactor, which went and harnessed the power of love and made the world a kind of a utopia, as it were. But there was a problem with the code on it, and it ended up going and causing a major rift in space-time that led in anti-love, and now the forces of anti-love have captured all these space bunnies and are going and taking over the world, and we need to put back the reactor and make the future more lovely rather than unlovely. So, the key mechanics to Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time. You have 2 players, either yourself and an AI, or yourself and a co-op partner that you can go and play in. And you've got all these different stations around the ship that you have to go and control. There's a radar, which goes and lets you kind of know where the map of the stage you're in, as well as where you might go and find space bunnies to go and rescue. There's the steering, which with the Gumball Zero, the thruster nozzle can go all around the ship, and you just have to go and put it basically opposite the direction you want to go. So it takes a little bit of getting used to there. And then there's 4 turrets. On the Gumball Zero, there's located on the cardinal sides, but there are different ship layouts that have different number of turrets and different positionings. There's also that big rotating Yamato cannon that goes around that we can go and fire, which base goes and acts like that. Pretty awesome. I was actually able to get an enemy with that. And then there's the shields, which we can go and move around and position in any location around the ship to go and defend from enemies and enemy shots. And when you're going and playing with an AI pet, with pressing the Y button, it's possible to go and place the pet at any position around the ship. So you can go and station them at a turret, you can station them on the shields, but you can't go and have them drive. Sorry, little kitty, you can't go and handle the responsibility of driving. You're not old enough yet. And as far as play-wise, it's actually despite the fact that the game is designed as a co-op title, it's actually really easy to go and handle single player because of how intuitive and how much fun they went and made the AI system. Going and having like the AI pet is fun, but for a title like this, I definitely feel the main meat of the game itself goes and flows from the multiplayer. So I'm going to go and spend my time with it going and showing you that. Let's go ahead and quit back to the title real quick. We're going to go and fire up my main save, slot 2. Once again, I'm going to go and be Lover New. And my girlfriend is going to go and help out, and she's going and being the cute bunny Hopper. So here we go. So I'm going to go and show you that stage that I had just started. We're just going to go and jump right into it from this menu, though. And so there are a total of 6 different ships that go and have different layouts and different special properties. The Gumball Zero is your basic prototype, a sturdy, lovely prototype battleship containing the first portable Ardor reactor. And in we go. So the stages are randomly generated, so you're not going to go and see the same layout each time, although the basic objectives and the way that the stage is handled is similar. So I'm going to go ahead and take steering duties, and then we'll see what other positions we end up going and using. So there are various drops that you can go and shoot that'll go and either provide power-ups, health, or location of where you might go and find some of your trapped friends that you're trying to go and rescue. So in order to go and clear the stage, we need to go and find 5 of our space friend buddies that'll allow us to go and unlock the love portal to go and get to the next stage in the campaign. So pulling up our map, we can go and see where we're going with that, and then we can go and steer. So as far as the basic way the game goes and works, so it's kind of like your old school space shooter in the way that things go and control. You've got, yay, we just won free to Space Bunny. You've got kind of similar to Asteroids, really. When you go and move around, you've got a little bit of a floaty ship movement mechanic, kind of like Asteroids. You go and shoot in a similar manner, but rather than going and doing all of these things together or at once, each station is its own individual station. And if you happen to go and try and get in a fight in that station, you get that fun little like scuffle right there, and then whoever was there second goes and takes over, going and showing that things aren't always lovely in a dangerous space-time. So we've gone and rescued our first Space Bunny. Next objective, we'll go and try and move on to going and rescuing our second Space Bunny. So as the enemies do go and spawn kind of infinitely. Oh-ho. This is kind of a question, do you want to go and concentrate on just getting to your destination, or maybe going and taking out the enemies around you? So here's an interesting mechanic that's present in the title itself. You've got planetoids where you can go and be captured in their gravity and just moving around it like you're going and orbiting the planet. It's kind of fun in that it goes and eliminates the need to go and steer, so it gives you the ability to go and focus more on being offensive or defensive, as the case may be. So here we are trying to go and rescue Space Bunnies, but they've gotten sucked into this evil planet. And now we have to go and take out all these turrets that are going orbiting it. So I'm going to steer and try and get my partner into the range of being able to go and take them out. As you'll notice, as you're like in a planetoid's field of influence, you can go and change your orbit by either going and zooming away or zooming out. But now that we've gone and rescued the Space Bunnies, the planet's lost its gravity. It no longer has the will to go and exert its presence over us, force over us. I don't know. Anyway, going and moving along, let's see what other Space Bunnies we can go and find. Were those the other ones we had on the map? They were not. So to go and access this area, we have to go and shoot the switch. And then in we go. So these turrets here can definitely go and be problematic. If you go and activate their lasers, they will go and fire upon you, like massively. But your shield can defend against that, so we can go and, with some teamwork, we can definitely go and sneak our way around and get to our space bunny friends that we need to go and rescue. Space bunnies rescued. Once you go and have 5 of your space friends rescued, they have the ability to go and unlock the portal to the next stage. When you do go and rescue any of your space friends, you go and happen to get attacked by waves of enemies. Depending on where you're at, they might be easier or harder to go and deal with. With the way they spawned, it was actually quite easy to go and handle them. So that was lucky. Oh. Thank you. Alright, we're going to go ahead towards the portal now, so we can go ahead and finish up the stage and go and show you the other stage I was looking forward to going and featuring. So unfortunately, we haven't picked up any gem power-ups yet, so I'm going to go and spend just a moment looking for some before we happen to go and move on to the next stage. So it's definitely a crucial part of the... Oops. This ship, the Gumball Zero, isn't actually very good at going and taking hits. So you kind of want to avoid crashing into planetoids if you can help it. Rescuing space bunnies, though, does go and restore your health, so that's definitely something to go and keep in mind. So many enemies. So there are different difficulty settings to the title as well. We're going and playing it on normal. There's a casual difficulty, and I would hope that there would go and also be a harder difficulty that can go and be unlocked through additional play, maybe going and finishing the title and everything. Well, we're back at the reactor, and I didn't go and find any power-ups, so we'll just go ahead and dive in, and I'll go and explain that here, that system here in just a second. So when you go and complete the stage, you go and get this little bit of tally screen. We only need 5 friends to go and clear the stage, but there's up to 10 friends that are present within the stage that you can go and get. And as you go and collect friends, your rank goes and increases, and you're able to go and purchase, or rather obtain upgrades for either your ship itself or obtaining completely new ships, which we're going to go ahead and show off here in just a second. So the other stage that I wanted to go and show you is the boss stage from the first campaign, the Great Bear. And for this one, we're also going to go and be featuring one of the other ships. There's a total of 6 ships, so we only have half of them unlocked. There's, in addition to the Gumball Zero, there's also the Banana Split, and there's the Jelly Roll. So we're going to go with the Banana Split, which does have more HP and an interesting system that goes and restricts the players from part of the ship. So the first player can go and access the left but not the right, and vice versa for player 2. So in between each stage, you go and have this little intermediate section where you can go and heal up, and you get power-ups given to that you can go and obtain. So there are 3 different kinds of gems. I'm going and holding a beam gem right now. I'm going to go ahead and put this on a turret, and that goes and turns that into a powerful beam turret. Let's see what other gems we go and get. Metal gems can go and turn turrets into ball and chains. They can go and make the engine fire out mines, or if we go and attach it to a shield, they can make the shield an awesome metal battering ram. And as I was going and saying, if on a turret, they turn the turret into a ball and chain. We'll go ahead and throw another beam gem up here, and for our last turret, the power gem, we'll go ahead and throw that on this one, making it more powerful, like triple cannon instead of a double cannon. It's also possible, once you've gone and leveled up, to go and combine gems for different synergies. You can go and combine like 2 of the same gems or 2 different ones for different types of weapons, different types of effects. So here we are at the boss of Campaign 1. So one complaint I do have about the title is that it's not possible to go and skip cutscenes and dialogues. That's not too big of an issue, but, well, a little bit of a problem. So we've got gigabuckets of anti-love flowing into the constellation Ursa Major, which goes and turns it into this evil bear monster thing. And here we have our first boss fight. So with the banana split going and being divided essentially down this middle, it definitely goes and takes a lot of teamwork and cooperation to go and figure out what roles are best to go and fulfill from the various sides of the ship. Do you go and focus on going on the offense? Do you go and try and keep the defense running? Do you go and use your Yamato cannon to go and do massive damage? Or not? Let's go ahead and run away from these. And away from like all these asteroids. Asteroids are not good. In this kind of a situation, I kind of wish I could go and help by going and shooting on that side of the ship, but it just isn't going to go and happen. So, here he is on my side now, though. Come on, bear. Come get some. Getting some good hits in on him. Teamwork is definitely a must in this fight. So, and I feel like there's few ships that would go and show it off as well as the banana split. Although I wonder how this one would go and be with the jelly roll, which the trick to that ship is when you go and zoom around in the with the engines, it actually goes and moves the entire ship rather than the engine rotating around. Ooh, this guy's got teleportation powers. No fair you hiding behind those asteroids, bear. Oh no! This guy's going down. So one thing I do really love about the title is just how consistent and how consistent and fun the art style is. Everything is presented in these beautiful like neon colored tones, including the enemies, and as you go and deal damage to the enemies, you might have noticed with our ship and the boss both, cracks go and start to go and develop throughout the enemy or our ship that just goes and indicates damage. And, well, it's kind of a neat... Oh no, all our power gems! It's definitely a neat effect. Alright, so that's the end of the first campaign and the defeat of the first boss. We go and get a piece of the Ardor reactor. An alright time for that one. Alright, well, that'll just about go and wrap up Shoot 'em Up Saturday for me this week. That's, in a nutshell, what you go and have with the title Lovers in a Dangerous Spacetime. It's definitely a great space shooter, regardless of if you're going and playing it by yourself or if you're lucky enough to go and have somebody to go and play it with. One minor complaint that I can go and say for the title is that there is no multiplayer, network multiplayer for it. It's only local co-op. So great if you happen to have somebody to go and play with, but if you want to go and play with somebody long distance, at this point in time, you're unfortunately out of luck. Alright, well, that should just about wrap me up for this episode of Shoot 'em Up Saturday. I want to go and thank you so much for going and coming out and joining me. As always, if you go and have suggestions for other Shoot 'em Ups that you'd like to go and see me play and feature on the channel, or other games in general, please leave those in the comments below. I'd love to go and hear from you along those lines. Well, at any rate, thank you so much for going and coming out, and I hope to go and see you again next week.